I am thoroughly unprepared. I'm just loading the thing up. I'm doing all right. It's really warm here. It's weird because usually by this time of year, the heat's gone. So 15 years. Yeah, I joined September 26th, 2006. And, you know, YouTube was a really different place at that point. I mean, they were all in 4:3. They weren't widescreen videos. You couldn't upload more than 10 minutes. The funny thing is, they had different classes of upload statuses. You could be a director, a musician, guru. I don't even know what a guru was. Producer. And the funny thing is, to be able to upload longer than 10 minutes, you had to apply as a director, and you had to fill in a form for that. And I remember trying a few times to apply for that, and I eventually made it. And it had nothing to do with copyright status or anything. I think you just had to write in what you wanted to do, and you could just say, I want to do really long Terms of Friends videos, and they would let you do it. Yeah, and times have changed then, because I think now all you have to do is verify your phone number. Because this was before Google bought YouTube. And like I said, it was all full screen as opposed to widescreen. Yeah, 2009. I would say YouTube peaked in 2011. And then when it became a career option, it just went straight down from there. Yeah, we had full screen videos. You didn't have high definition. You'd be lucky if most videos back then were, if they were 360, 360p. You had, instead of leaving a like or dislike, they had the star rating from 1 star to 5 star. And I think of everything that YouTube's done over the years, the like and dislike option is probably a lot more useful. Because a video could start out with a 5-star rating, and then all it would take is just one person to vote anything other than 5 stars, and then the 5-star rating's gone forever. And I think back then, if you liked a video, you give it 5 stars. If you didn't like it, you give it 1 star, and then it would take, I think it was the average of whatever the ratings were. So if it had one 5-star and one 1-star, the rating would be check out this video, 3 stars. Yes, I think that was a good thing that changed. There's no one trying to be popular like today. I mean, that's true. That was the golden age of YouTube. It was before it became a career option, because 15 years, I've been doing stuff on here for 15 years. And never once did I consider it being a career option, because at that point you're just forcing yourself to make content, and eventually you lose the passion, because at that point you're like, I've got to get these videos out for a certain date. And, with the multi-language series, with GT, with Recordable Fridays, with Video Memories, I never thought of making that a career option because, I make Video Memories because I want to, because I like telling stories, and yeah, I never once considered it as a career because at that point you're just cranking garbage out and you lose the passion involved in making all of this. So yeah, YouTube has certainly changed over the years. I mean, the fact that you had to apply to upload videos longer than 10 minutes. And I remember once I uploaded a video of the Thompson Friends episode Cows at 5 different speeds. And I remember being amazed that I uploaded a video that was 35 minutes long. And I thought, this has to be one of the longest videos on YouTube. This was in 2007, obviously. And I remember marveling at that. And then suddenly videos come along, they're like an hour long. That was amusing. I mean, times have changed because I was 13 when I started doing this, and now I'm 28. Oh, how times have changed. So yeah, if there's anything, I have a good couple of hours. So if anything wants to talk about, who was the first well-known YouTuber that you watched? Oh God, because the Thompson Friends community wasn't that big back then. So, I mean, just name anyone from Soda Island forums and you've got it there. Oh God, really? Yeah, I live off the stuff. People always say they need alcohol. This is my alcohol right here. Yeah, my granddad introduced me to the stuff in 1996, I think, and I've never looked back. So yeah, if anyone wants to talk about anything, just mention a topic, something you like, and then if you had a time machine, what time would you go back to and why? I mean, the obvious answer really is log. Wait, hold on. He called this Kanga. I have never called it that. If I had a time machine, what time would I go back to? I would I mean, the obvious answer really is the late 1990s because I was a Cartoon Network addict. And yeah, that's about it. I would take a DVD player with me so I could record everything. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have. Oh, see, I wasted my life with Cartoon Network. I was addicted to the channel. I don't even know what it was that drove me to it. I mean, I didn't really know that many cartoons before Cartoon Network came along. And I'm willing to bet it was Tom and Jerry or Looney Tunes. Those would have been the ones that drove me to Cartoon Network. And I suppose, kids are predisposed to love cartoons as a kid. And then when you get like a TV service in your bedroom of, oh God, I lost my train of thought there. I saw a comment come up and I blanked. Yeah, you get a TV service in your bedroom and you see a channel called On Digital. Then you see a channel called Cartoon Network. You're going to end up watching, and then eventually you will find something you like. I mean, as much as I don't like Cartoon Network, Rangers or Celtic, I hate football. So neither. Yeah, I was talking about Cartoon Network there. Yeah, I mean, honestly, as much as I don't like Cartoon Network these days, the kids probably like Gumball. They probably like Steven Universe. Yeah, it's just different times, really. Liam was a Toon Disney fanboy of the 2000s. Oh, Toon Disney was amazing. I mean, all of them were really, but I didn't give Toon Disney the attention it deserved back in the day. I mean, think about it. It was the only, because we had the two Disney channels. We had Playhouse Disney and we had Toon Disney. And I did watch Playhouse Disney. Why was Gondorth YouTube story removed? I didn't like the video. I had this big plan for my 10th anniversary, and I would have kept it if I did voiceover, but this was before GT and video memories, and I had no idea how any of that was done. So it was all text form, and I didn't really like it. So I just got rid of that. Now, Disney. There was the Disney channels. There was Playhouse Disney, which I did watch briefly. I didn't watch it that much. And Toon Disney was the only 24-hour channel out of the four, and it was the only one that ran strictly animated cartoons. So you would have thought I would have paid more attention to that, considering how much of a Cartoon Network lover I was. Yeah, I didn't think that. I don't think I really grew to it. I mean, I liked Toon Disney. I don't think I really appreciated it until it was gone, until Disney Cinemagic took over. It's your youth. You don't. When it comes to your youthful TV viewing, you don't think too much of it. Like you just have this one thing. You assume it's going to be around forever, and no, it's not. Toon Disney was my shit. It was the shit. It was the Disney shit. Goof Troop. That was a show I watched a lot because I think I talked about this in subscription TV. I used to watch Toon Disney in the morning before school, and it was always Goof Troop, House of Mouse, and Lilo and Stitch. Those were always the ones, because I would wake up at 7 and then I would be out the door by 8:30. So I would have that much time to watch that. What is your view on Chicken Run? I'm not actually that big on Chicken Run. It's like Ants as well. I wasn't big on that. Yeah, I'm not that super huge on Chicken Run, and I don't plan on seeing the sequel when that comes out. Your VHS player doesn't work? Well, I've got 2, so I'm good. I don't even know why I bought a second one, because, I mean, yeah, the first one might break it eventually. And the second one's there as backup, and I don't actually use it that much, but you never know when it'll come in handy. So yeah, I was talking about Goof Troop. It's a good show. It was. I used to watch that every morning. It'll be 2003 and 2004. I used to watch that. Do I have any tattoos? No, I've never really seen the appeal of tattoos. It's just the thought of it becoming permanent, and I'm a guy who changes his mind all the time. So I could get a tattoo I think is awesome, and I get it, and then like a year later, I'll be like, this tattoo sucks. I don't like it. I mean, I think if tattoos weren't permanent, I probably would have done something by then, and I've never seen the appeal. You've had 5 VHS players. I've had one for, oh god, how old is that VHS tape? That VHS player is a Proline VR. Yeah, the VCR is right behind the camera. So yeah, I've had that. It's been in the family since 1999, and I sort of stole it from my mother in 2007, I think. Because I had one of those TVs that had a TV VCR combo, and eventually that TV broke. So I took that VCR, and it's 22 years, and it still works. Have I ever grown up with the Twinnies? I wasn't much of a fan of the Twinnies back then. I mean, I watched it once or twice, but I wasn't a huge Twinnies fan. So yeah, the VCR is 10 years old, and it still works. I do remember when I moved into my first house, and I wanted to get my VHS collection together. I picked the VCR up from my old house, and I was worried it wouldn't work because I hooked it up to my bedroom TV and it wouldn't connect. So I thought the VCR was actually dead, and I actually contemplated buying another one just in case. But then I thought, let me try on the living room TV just in case. So I bring it through here, or to the living room in my old house. I put one of my recordable videos in, and it worked. So I have no idea what's wrong with the what's wrong with my TV in the bedroom, because it didn't connect for some reason. And yeah, I've tried the other VCR and that works. So I have no idea, but whatever. Favorite moment in the In-Betweeners. So I used to think the In-Betweeners was really funny, and then I sort of just eased off on it, and I haven't gone back to it. It would have to be something from the first movie, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know that one. Is it weird that I've watched is it weird that I've watched a lot of 80s and 90s shows? Hey, hang on. Let me think. Yeah. Where is it? Yeah. And yeah, I'll take these three. Right, so a comment about watching stuff in the 80s. Hey, I've got 10 in a Bed. I've got Tom and Jerry, Bad Day at Cat Rock. I've got the birthday cartoon collection. These two were released in 1989, and I wasn't born until 1993. So I know the feeling. I know the feeling of watching old stuff. I'm trying to think if I've got anything older than that. Oh, geez. Had I known this question would have come up, I would have checked. Did you watch any sitcoms from the BBC? I had Fab was on BBC, wasn't it? I think I did. I watched Absolutely Fabulous. Yeah, I can see the DVD here. It says it's got the BBC logo on it. So yeah, Absolutely Fabulous. Hang on a minute. I'll get the duplicate one. Yeah, so I used to watch Ab Fab as a kid. I don't know what the appeal was, but yeah, I used to watch Ab Fab. It was a good show. The movie was good as well when that came out. But other than that, I wasn't really much of a sitcom guy. Really, I was strictly cartoons at the time. Oh boy! Hang on, let me put these back. Oh, you have this box set. I've got two of them, actually. Is there even a difference? Hang on a minute. Let me get the other one. I need to look at this. There is no difference between these two box sets. I don't know why I have two of them. Have you seen Rick and Morty? I have. I'm not a massive fan of Rick and Morty. I'm more of a Family Guy type, but I can watch it, and it's no issue. Shit, now which one is the good one? I kind of regret bringing out the these two boxes now, because I don't remember which one is the one that goes on the main shelf and which one goes on the duplicate. I'm going to put this one here. I need to have a second camera that shows the VHS and DVD collection in case I move. You're thinking of making a review series called My Childhood Stuff? Yeah, go for that, because I've been rewatching a couple of shows. I rewatched Fat Dog Mendoza, and I got through about 4 episodes, and I realized this show's garbage. I rewatched Flying Rhino Junior High, which I never knew was an educational show. And yeah, I went back to watch that. It actually holds up, surprisingly, considering it for what it is. I'm not a fan of South Park. Favorite show from the BBC. See, I mentioned Ab Fab, but then I realized Postman Pat was the BBC, and I think Pingu was as well. Oh God, because if you've seen Video Memories, you know I praised Postman Pat's big video, and I praised Pingu. Oh gee, and what doesn't help is they're completely different They're completely different shows as well. I think for creativity, I may have to go Pingu on my favorite BBC show. Do you watch 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown? My other half does. She loves that show. It's weird because she never really watched Countdown as a kid. I think she just likes Jimmy Carr. So yeah, we have been watching the YouTube compilations, and she can't get enough of the show. Hang on, let me put these back. Like I say, I could really use a second camera here. That up there next to bug alert. There we go. Fix that. Ugh. Favorite Thomas VHS tape? I need to get up again. This is all a complete test. It's just making me get up and down. Do you even need to ask? Have I ever watched Torrid Henry? No. I never. See, if it was on CBBC or CBBS, I never really bothered with that. Dairy Girls, never watched it. Yeah, so if it was on CBBS or CBBC, unless it was Pingu or Postman Pat, I probably didn't watch it. Especially if it was from the last... I don't even know when the last time I watched CBBS was. I have no idea. I mean, I watched the Postman Pat movie. That was surprisingly good. They haven't done a Pingu movie. That's a shame. And you want a show with comedic gold, do that, and then just make it the dumbest movie in existence. What was the last new animated movie you watched? The last new one. I mean, Raya and the Last Dragon comes to mind, and it was good until the dragon showed up. Oh God, and maybe Luca. That was the last movie I saw, the new Pixar movie, and that was actually really good. That may be best movie of the year so far. Actually, oh God, I think the last movie may have been Space Jam: A New Legacy, if we're going to count that, and I wasn't that impressed. I think what didn't help is that movie was a massive cash grab, gambling on nostalgia, and I have no nostalgic love for Space Jam. And so I expected it to be complete garbage when I watched it. And, you know, I was not surprised. The movie was boring, so it did nothing for me. So it was either... So my last anime movie I saw was Space Jam, which was awful, or Luca, which was really good. Pingu, I see a show came out in Japan, and that was Pingu in the City, wasn't it? I've heard of that, but I never watched it. Put this back. When was the last time you watched the Toy Story franchise? Oh, geez. It may have been when I did the Video Memories review. It can be. I'm sure I watched the first one before that. See, I want to go back and rewatch Toy Story 4 because I want to like that movie, and for some reason I need to rewatch it. I've seen it twice and it did nothing for me. It actually got worse the second time round. What's better, Cars 1 or 2? Cars 1, obviously. I mean, the second one is not the worst movie ever, but if I'm watching a Cars movie, I want to see Lightning McQueen, and I don't really care about Mater doing the secret agent stuff. So I would say if you're going to watch a Cars movie, I would say watch Cars 1 and 3, because the third one doesn't really acknowledge the second one, so you could just skip that one and you've barely missed a thing. Oh, I love Cars. I would say Cars is one of the more underrated movies of Pixar. Controversial opinion there. The Number Crew. There's your answer. I've never heard of it. The last VHS station. Incredibles versus Cars. I mean, Incredibles over Cars. That is a fair opinion because The Incredibles is a good movie. I mean, the second one was good as well, not as good. I remember last time I saw The Incredibles 2, I was like, it's good. Smash Chad Valley video in front of us. I mean, I could do one better. Hang on. Lift that up. Maybe an angle. Hang on. Did that show up? Yes, it did. Excellent. Excellent. It caught it. When was the last time you went out? About an hour ago. Stick that piece of garbage back on the shelf. Are you interested in history? I would say yes. I do like learning about history. So, oddly enough, it's World War II, and that's my favorite historical subject. I don't know why I like it that much. When's the last time you watched If I Ever Caught COVID? No. Oh, God. And trust me, dealing with COVID when you've got a wedding coming up in 3 weeks, that's not fun. That is, my anxiety has been going mental the past 2 years. I've not been thinking a day past the wedding day, let's just put it that way. When's the last time you watched Magic Railroad? Oh, boy. I think the last time I watched it was when the work print was leaked, and all I did was compare it to I compared it to the theatrical version to the original cut of it, and I think that was it, really. And I've heard that people like the Blu-ray because it has the deleted scenes, but whatever. I mean, it's just from what I've heard, it's just the theatrical cut with some deleted scenes thrown in there. It's not an entirely new cut. Because I remember when the fans heard that the Blu-ray was coming out, they were thinking, oh, excellent, we're getting the director's cut. And nope, it's just the theatrical cut. Could I say a few things about what Scotland did in World War? Honestly, if I knew what they did, I wouldn't. If I could, I would, but I didn't. I don't follow it that much. I mean, I like hearing things about history, like watching old video clips of like Scotland in the 1950s. I like looking at that and thinking how different things are. But I don't really know what Scotland's involvement in World War II was. Thank you for inspiring me. Hey, no problem there, because people inspired me. If I can inspire other people, that's a bonus, really. If people like my content, that's great, and if I inspire them, that's even better. When was the last time I watched The Simpsons? See, that's the problem. I did that marathon, and that was almost 3 years ago I did that. That's the alarming thing. I started doing it on October. Oh, geez, when did I start doing that? Hang on, I'm gonna have to bring up the Simpsons schedule I did, like the time codes of when I did the marathon. Simpsons. It should say there. I've still got the videos from those domino ads. for when they sponsored The Simpsons. Oh, God, right, okay. October 27th, that's when I started. See, hold on. If I can bring it in, I still have the time codes from when I did the marathon. And look at this. Day by day, I had to take note of how many episodes I watched, and that was extreme torture doing that marathon. So I do not recommend that. Do I collect any Arrowhead films or any Arrow video films? I have no idea what that is. I don't know a lot these days, really. Have you seen all 14 movies? I have not. The only ones I've seen are The Magic Railroad, Calling All Engines, The Great Discovery, and The Adventure Begins. I think that was it. I didn't watch BWBA when I did the marathon for Farewell Thomas. I didn't have time for that. I didn't really care about the movies as it was. I just wanted to focus on the TV show. 101 Dalmatian Street. You know, I've heard about that. I think it was all right because it's on Disney Plus, and I think it was on Disney Junior before that channel got taken down. You know, I thought it was all right. What's the song you use to introduce video memories? It's called Suddenly I See. It's in, oh geez, which one was it? I think it was, I did a montage. It was in episode 72 at the end. Yeah, it was in episode 72 at the end. I do a montage. It's called Suddenly I See. It's by Katie Tunstall. She's from Glasgow, and the song stuck with me since it came out. It's weird. It's one of those songs you think came out earlier than it actually did, because it came out in 2006, and I swear the song feels older. Favorite episode of Family Guy? Oh, geez. It would be one from after the show got cancelled, when it became edgier. I don't know if I have a favorite, actually. I'm looking at the DVD shelf right now, trying to see if I can remember anything. I can't think of anything on that one. Could you do a video memories episode on Simba's Pride? I mean, I talked about it in the Lion King episode. I mean, it's outdated, obviously. Because in that I said I like Simba's Pride more than the original Lion King. And then the further on I got, it's like, that's not true. There's no way in hell the movie beats something as iconic as The Lion King. But it's probably, when it comes to direct-to-video sequels, it's probably one of the best. And I rewatched Lion King 3 a week or two ago, and I forgot how short that movie is. It's barely over an hour long, and, you know, it's all right. So I don't see myself doing Simba's Pride, but I do recommend the movie. It is really good. I do have nostalgic love for it. Is it bad that I still buy physical media? Hey, there's nothing wrong with buying physical. I mean, there's... are we talking lady from Thompson Friends? She's all right. She's not that that amazing of a character, probably because the Magic Railroad was severely butchered. Actually, I don't think she was meant to speak in the original movie. So, ironic twist, she got better. But she's just a whatever character. Physical media. I mean, there's positives to every. There's positives to each way of looking at it, because if it's a streaming movie, it's more convenient. Could you do a video memories on Disney's straight-to-video releases? That's a very wide range, and I don't know if I'd have much to say for most of them. I don't even know how many straight-to-video things I own. I'll come back to that in a minute. Yeah, streaming versus physical. I mean, streaming is more convenient, but suppose you lose internet, or your streaming platform, whether it's a PS4, whether it's a Fire Stick, whether it's an Xbox, whatever. Suppose your internet goes down, you can't stream anything. That's why it's always good to have a physical copy. And yeah, physical things, DVDs especially, they get damaged easily. I mean, VHS, the film deteriorates after a while, but it's still watchable. And I'd say it's easier to watch a damaged VHS tape over a damaged DVD. So yeah, there's positives and negatives to both angles. Which episode do you prefer, Thomas and Bertie or Thomas Comes to Breakfast? Thomas and Bertie, I think. I mean, they're both good episodes. Do you still have your American Thomas DVDs? I don't. I got rid of them when I moved house because I never expected to find myself watching Thomas and Friends again. That was before I decided to do Farewell Thomas. Because I think I did when I moved in here, I did a full year without any Thomas and Friends reviews. So yeah, I saw no use for them. I don't think I have any of them left. Hang on, I think I have one. Let me check. But I think there's something up here. Does it all? Actually, I don't think I do. I don't think I do have anything. I could have sworn I kept one, but evidently I do not. Have you ever seen the Batman, the animated series? I have. It's a good show. I've been meaning to finish that. See, this is my problem. I've got a lot of shows I want to rewatch or even finish, and I think to rewatch a TV show, I need to have the time, and more importantly, I need to be in the mood for it. Because otherwise, if I'm trying to watch a show and I'm not in the mood for it, I'm going to be bored out of my mind, and then I switch off after like 3 episodes. Will you sell your Thomas VHS collection? Not a chance. No. I mean, I don't watch the show anymore, but I'm sentimental towards the VHS collection as it is. It's why. See, I don't know if I'm sentimental for Chad Valley Video because the video is a complete piece of garbage, and I don't see myself getting rid of it. I don't even know if it's a finders keepers kind of thing. There's a small part of me that thinks I'm keeping it so no other person has to suffer for it. You dare me to binge watch all SpongeBob episodes starring Patrick? You're trying to torture me. I hate SpongeBob. I hate it, but my other half, I don't know if she loves it. She likes it. I think she's more of a Loud House fan now. But, oh my God, I hate SpongeBob and I really hate Patrick. You've been watching me for 2014. Yeah. I hope you've got. It's nice that you enjoyed my content. Would you rather have the Chad Valley video you own or the oldest VHS tape you own? What is the oldest one I own? Oh God. Oh, I'll be singing Kettle Pirates. Yeah, there's no contest there. Sing Kettle Pirates, obviously. Do I remember Thomas Chungton? Yeah, I think I do. Why do you hate Patrick? He's just the most annoying cartoon character I've ever seen. And every time I see Patrick, I just want him to go and die. That's how bad it is. I hate watching SpongeBob. And this is the woman I'm marrying as well. No, the things you do for love, am I right? So yeah, Chad Valley Video or Singing Kettle Pirates, that's absolutely no contest there. And actually the first copy of Singing Kettle Pirates I have is incredibly damaged at this point. It's the ultimate sign of VHS film deterioration. And I would rather watch the broken... I see more value in the damaged VHS tape than Chad Valley Video. Yeah, I've heard that my favorite Thomas season, it's between season 1 and 5. I think I covered this in Farewell Thomas. Yeah, I've heard that the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob are really good, and after the movie, it just goes downhill because, I mean, it's like Thomas and Friends in a way. They see the value of the show and how well it sells merchandise and how well and how good it does in the ratings, and they milk the show for all it's worth. And yeah, that's what happened with Thomas and Friends in like season 6 onwards. Because that's when these I think from season 1 onwards until 2021, or 2020, they did one season of the show every year, and that was from the model era into the CGI era. They never stopped. And they did a movie every year as well, I think. That was from, when did they start in the movies consistently? Like what a year? I think it was The Great Discovery, because that was season 11 going into season 12, I think. And then, so I don't know, someone who's an expert on the movies would be able to help me on that one. Do you plan to make multi-language videos again? I don't plan on doing that. Yeah, I just got burned out on the multi-language series, and it didn't really, I didn't really enjoy it towards the end, because oh boy, yeah, I think if anyone's interested, my favorite multi-language seasons would be season 3 and 4. I think those are the best ones I did. And I think the most consistent one I did was season 6. Because at that point, it was like one episode every week for, well, almost every week. From October to June. And that was the most consistent work I ever did for that. Are you familiar with The Legend of Sleepy Hollow? I know of it, and I've seen the movie. With Johnny Depp, and I've been meaning to rewatch that. See, once again, I've got a lot of things to rewatch. I just need to find the time for it. Do you have your old TV rips from Cartoon Network and Disney? Hang on, let's move everything. I do. There's my collection right there. Let's get it in frame. Yep. Yep, I will have it. And there's the Universal Monsters. I'll be talking about them in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I still have the TV recordings. I still love them. I think that's what I'm most sentimental towards, is my TV collections. And did I help find the Slovenian dubs of Magic Railroad? I mean, if Nathan credits me, then I must have done. Do you prefer the Thomas Marathon or the Simpsons Marathon? Oh God, I'm sure I talked about this when I did my birthday Q&A, but I think with The Simpsons, I had more content to go through. But at the same time, I enjoyed The Simpsons more. So I might go, they probably balance out, but I think The Simpsons just by that much. I mean, I suppose when I started doing Thomas and Friends for like the first 5 or 6 seasons, they were good. And then I was watching maybe 1 or 2 seasons per day at that point. And I was just watching it to get it done at that point. I wasn't... see, I had the plan to do Farewell Thomas back then, and that was in March. I don't know why I rushed the show. I think I had something going on in late March, and I wanted the marathon to be done by then. I can't remember. What was the last good Simpsons season you like until the show went to shit? See, I've heard that there's a drop in quality, and I mean, yeah, you can notice it, but I don't think the show has ever truly been bad. I mean, my favorite episode is the first episode of season 9 when they go to New York. City of New York versus Homer Simpson. That's still my favorite. See, I never really stopped. I think if I was actually doing the Video Memories episode when I was doing the marathon, I probably would have taken notice to when I noticed the drop in quality. What was it? The Farewell Thomas? Yeah, that's when I did the marathon then, because I wanted to rewatch the show one more time before, I got married and the All Engines Go began. And I think I don't think it started out as a plan for video memories, and then I posted it. I posted a poll on that to see if people thought it would be a good video memories episode, and people said yes, so I just went for it. But I did the marathon in March, and the video came out in June, so I had lots of time for that. Do we know who Jung Wilkes Booth is? Yes, I do. Theodore Tugboat. I mean, I watched Tugs when I did Farewell Thomas. I watched maybe 2 episodes, and it didn't do anything for me. Favorite Simpsons character? I mean, cop-out answer, really. It's going to be either Homer or Bart. A video memories episode on 101 Dalmatians. I mean, I've probably thought about that one, but so that's the thing about doing video memories. I need things to talk about. I don't think I have anything much beyond the plot with 101 Dalmatians. It's a good show, but it's a good movie even, but I don't think I have anything to go on with that one. So that's what makes video memories the best video memories episodes. Ones where I have a good story to talk about or a good topic to talk about. Like, I was thinking about this the other day. One of my favorite video memories episodes that I still one of the video memories episodes that's still my favorite is the Disney Holiday Planner. And you know, the video is 22 minutes long, and it gave me a lot to talk about, surprisingly. So I think and it doesn't necessarily have to involve the content within it on whether it makes a good episode or not. I think it's just if I have something to talk about. Like, it's with Cartoon Network videos, because I could talk about that channel for hours, and I'd come out with a smile on my face. So, I mean, you look at the top 10 list. I think there's only 2 Thomas and Friends episodes on there. I mean, obviously, I think the list has changed now because I think Farewell Thomas would have to make the top 10 list, and I think an honorable mention would be Subscription TV. So yeah, there's not that much Thomas and Friends content on there. A fair bit of it's to do with Cartoon Network. What's your favorite Thomas and Friends episode of season 5? I might go a better review for Gordon on that one, or James and the Trouble with Trees. I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff out of season 5. I mean, I think I have a soft spot for Horrid Laurie because that was the first season 5 episode I ever saw. It was on Spooks and Surprises. The 101 Dalmatians show was better than the movie. Ballsy statement there. Could you show us a Thomas VHS on screen? Sure, take your pick. Do you have any specific, or do you just want the entire shelf? Did you like season 5 and 6 Dumbing Tracks? I mean, they're all right. It doesn't matter. Right, so have I ever watched Bob the Builder? It was all right. This was back when it was stop motion. Right, so someone wants me to show off a Thomas and Friends VHS tape. Does anyone have any preference? First one I see, that's the one I'll get. I'm just waiting. Not really. Pick any. Oh, great. Budge. Okay. Story and Song Collection. Okay. Yoink. Here we go. See, I remember I had 2 of these as a kid, and evidently, I think it's the only Thomas and Friends video I ever had 2 of. I mean, not counting Troublesome Trucks, which the first video broke, but there must be something special about this one as a kid, because You know, if you own more than one, then you clearly have high opinions of it. I don't even know if I'd put this in my top 10 for Thomas and Friends videos. I have no idea. Have you ever watched any sitcoms like Friends, Seinfeld, or The Big Bang Theory? I tried to watch Friends. The laugh track put me off in the first episode. Big Bang Theory. Oh boy, this is a controversial opinion. Not only do I hate Patrick from SpongeBob, I hate Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. I don't know why he's so loved. My favorite color, it's blue, and probably just because it's a peaceful color. Because I remember when I was a kid trying to think of my favorite color. It's one of those things that seems really hard at the time, but then eventually you realize it's really obvious. Yeah, my favorite color is blue. Yeah, I don't know why Sheldon is so popular. He's a selfish douchebag. I don't know why people love him. Put this back. Stay hydrated. What was the greatest year of your life? I mean, I'm getting married in 3 weeks, and that's probably going to be the biggest day of my life ever. But you factor in COVID with that. And weddings are a nightmare to plan, by the way. If you plan to get married once and never again. Trust me. I don't know how people can get married more than once anyway. I mean, I saw Ringo in 2011, and then I met the love of my life there. I don't think I have a best year of my life. I don't know. Do you see the beauty of our lives and hope we will always find it? We all have beautiness inside. That's deep. Do you love Postman Pat? I did as a kid. Postman Pat's Big Video was a terrific video to watch. When did you start watching other languages of Thomas and Friends? It started with the Japanese dub. That'll be the first one I saw, because the Japanese one was really the only one that was out there as big as majorly as the English ones. Yeah, it would have been the Japanese one first, and that would have been, I don't know, 2009, 2010. There was definitely before the multi-language series. When's the last time you talked to Thomas Fan 261? I talked to Sean in, I think the last time I talked to him was in June. I talked to him about a potential review collab, and he says he'll get around to it at some point. Yeah, Sean's amazing. Sean's amazing. He makes really great content. There's a lot of passion with him. Do you love Do you like the Muppets? I do, to an extent. Muppet Christmas Carol and Muppet Treasure Island are probably the best Muppet movies out there. Yeah, I didn't. I think I actually started the multi-language series before I started really paying attention to other languages as it is, because that was the first multi-language video I did was that was just a one-off idea. Because I've seen people do episodes with multiple narrators, like the two English ones for each episode. And now they're redoing that because they have dubbing tracks, and then they've got this AI thing that can program Ringo's voice, and that's a new thing. And I thought, maybe I could do that, but take it one step further, get more than 2 voices in it. And then I was lucky to be able to find what I could. And I think once the multi-language series started, that's when the other dubs actually started showing up in the world. Did I say the Magic Railroad is too Americanized? I mean, I probably did. See, I don't have an issue with Neil Crone's voice being American. I just think he gives the funniest voice. He gives Diesel 10 the funniest voice. He makes him the funniest character in the movie. So I don't think his voice is an issue. And also, I've heard that he's in All Engines Go as Gordon again. And I remember that was a surprise for many fans. So hopefully he does a good job in that. Have you ever seen South Park or American Dad? I like American Dad, do not like South Park. So yeah, I think the biggest issue with the Magic Railroad when it comes to it being Americanized is just the whole human aspect, like Shining Time Station, because the kids aren't. I mean, I don't know if they care that much. I don't think I care that much. That it's the whole Shining Time aspect, because you got Billy Two Feathers, you got Stacey Jones, you got Mr. Conductor. The British fans, they never saw Shining Time Station, so there's a possibility they didn't know about them then. But when it comes to the engines having American voices, I don't think that was an issue. I mean, Neil Crone made him the best character in the entire movie, really. Favorite Thomas and Friends episode from season 1. I think I mentioned my top ones in the birthday Q&A. I think it was Edward, Gordon, and Henry, Thomas and the Trucks, and I think Dirty Objects. I don't know. Season 1 is a really good one for me. I don't think I can pick a favorite for that one. Favorite social media platform? I mean, none of them are great, really. Because for all the good things you see, you always see negative things. And I suppose Twitter, because you learn all the good stuff there. I don't know. I mean, social media is basically a blessing and a curse, especially when things get political. Then it's never a good thing. You just have to block out the all the negative stuff. If you see a hashtag, you can always tell if it's political by the way it's worded, and if it's a controversial topic. Thoughts on seasons 8 through 12 of Thomas and Friends? Season 8, I think, was good, and I think maybe season 11 as well. I remember really liking season 12 of that, and then I did Farewell Thomas, and I realized season 12 is awful. But I know it's a controversial opinion, but I like the model to animation hybrid that season 12 was. I liked where they were going with that. It just needed a bit of work. So season 8 was good. 9, 10, and 12 are bad. Was it like living in Scotland? It's fine. It's fine. It's like it'd be like living somewhere else, I assume. What Thomas season has your favorite visuals? I mean, are we talking visually? Which is my favorite? I mean, it'll be 1 through 5, I think. Although I do remember when I rewatched season 2, I remember that looked really nice. Yeah, 1, 2, and 5. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it's those. Do you think season 15 was awful? I mean, obviously, really. I think when I did Farewell Thomas, it wasn't as bad as it was the first time, because I just learned to switch off when that's on. And if there was any bad dialogue, I would just learn to make fun of that. Like when they would start rhyming for no reason, I would just laugh at that. That's a weird thing. I kind of have a guilty pleasure feeling towards Wonky Whistle, and I know that's one of the worst episodes out there. What languages can you speak? I speak a little bit of French, but I didn't really pay that much attention in school. I mean, most of the time it's mostly through the multi-language series I've been picking things up. Yeah, and So it's mostly just French I can speak, but it's not that much. Did you suffer when you watched Up, Up and Away? What episode was that again? I don't remember what episode that was. I think it's a CGI episode. I'll say this. I think watching season 9 and 10 were probably worse than the CGI seasons, because then I just blocked that out. Hold on, I'm going to look up what episode that was. Up, Up and Away. Where Thomas and Percy dies. Oh, good. Oh, the eighth episode of the 15th season. Oh, it must have been perfect. It must have been top class entertainment for that. In charge of transporting. Oh, transporting a giant balloon. Excellent. Go along the woodland track. Might rub up against a branch and pop. Take along the coastal run. He's worried about that the balloon will blow away. So I'm assuming by that fact that the balloon wasn't strapped down. Hold on. Was it inflated? Was the balloon inflated? Because if you're going to transport a balloon, did you watch James and the Express in Gaelic? I never saw the Gaelic dub. I never even knew it was a thing until the multi-language series, because we mostly just got the English version over here. I mean, evidently, it was inflated. Of course it was. Just give them a pack of deflated balloons, put it in a boxcar, and then inflate it when you get there. Oh, see, that's the thing about those CGI episodes. They just do a lot of dumb stuff. I think the worst it ever got was that episode with Henry and the statue. Because was that a statue? It was Henry and the lion. It was the lion statue. And for some reason, they don't know it's a statue they're transporting. And for some reason, they want to give him fish. What was the other thing they gave? I made fun of this in Farewell Thomas. I forget what it was. But they gave him fish, and it was something sticky. It may be treacle or something. They open the crate that the statue's in. The crew don't see that it's a statue. Oh my god, it's beautiful. And I think the other one was James in the Dark. How bad must James's eyesight be if he can't see another character that's this close to him, and they have a lamp on? Oh, I love that. Right, I've lost track of the comments there. I never saw the Gaelic one. Yeah, I think with the CGI episodes, the early ones, if it's something dumb, I just laugh at this point. Favorite TV shows, Ed, Edd n Eddy is my number one favorite, obviously. Kim Possible is probably my second, and I think my third has to be Tom and Jerry. Yeah, I think Ed, Edd n Eddy is one of those shows I could watch. I say I need to be in the mood and I need to have the time. I can always make time for Ed, Edd n Eddy. I can still watch clips of It Came From Outer Ed, when Ed tries to do that curse. And I can still watch clips of him eating that dog tree and say, what's a rock for a Double D? And I just laugh at that. Nice job, Double D. It looks just like a Q. Do you love Wallace and Gromit? Yeah, Wallace and Gromit was good. The Were Rabbit movies is actually really good. And that, I don't think I watched the TV show that much before I saw the movie. And I think it's good. Codename Kids Next Door, that show's amazing. Yeah, I've got a couple of VHS tapes up there from Cartoon Network, and Codename Kids Next Door is a great show. Sup, Jesse. So yeah, if you've just joined, feel free. It's been 15 years since I joined YouTube. Feel free to talk about anything you want, and we'll see what kind of weird conversations we get. Did you see Thomas and the Magic Railroad in the theaters? I remember that because I remember it came out on July 14th, which was my mother's birthday. And I'm thinking, can we go see that for your birthday? And I was only 6 at the time, and I think she said the parental version of "go fuck yourself." I remember. I don't think I did. I may have seen it in theaters. I remember seeing the posters for it for the local theater. It was UCI. That theater went defunct in 2008, I think. And I remember it being advertised. I had no idea who these human characters were, but I knew who Thomas was because, I had the VHS collection. I had Nick Jr. at that point, and she may have taken me to see it, but I can't remember. And it was out on VHS by October. Are you a Disney fan too? Oh, of course I'm a Disney fan. Most nostalgic VHS release. Hang on. If we're talking Disney, there's a lot of them when it comes to Disney. So I think it may have to be the Aristocats and the Lion King, not to mention, I talked about this earlier, the Disney Holiday Planner. I'm just watching the stream right now. It is really jittery. I've never live streamed on this phone before, so it must be working at least. Yeah, because it's the opening promos for the Aristocats, and talking about, I think I mentioned this in the birthday Q&A. I think my most nostalgic ad has to be Space Mountain from The Lion King. And, that used to terrify me as a kid because, I don't know if it's because it's set in space or because of the music. It's a great musical piece, by the way. It's called Encounter. And I don't know if it's because it was really ominous, but it sets up with the Lion King animated storybooks. So it sets up pretty safe and tame stuff, and they talk about Pinocchio and Pocahontas as well. And then it just goes, your destination, outer space, your speed, astronomical, your closest encounter, asteroids. Yeah, that's some creepy stuff right there. Have you ever seen the Thomas Other Languages spreadsheet? Yeah, I've seen what Nathan did with that, and I think Brandon helped with that as well. It's impressive. It's impressive how they've got that all laid out, and they're more organized than I could ever be. Would you like to meet Brett Allcroft? I mean, I don't see what I'd have to gain from that at this point. I mean, I watched Thomas and Friends as a kid. I'm glad she brought the show out to the... She brought the show to life, and, I probably appreciate that, but I would probably rather meet the creators of Kim Possible or Ed, Edd n Eddy or Tom and Jerry. Give me that Lion King VHS tape. I will give you 10 pizza boxes for free so you can eat all the pizza. You're like, ooh, now that's tempting, but I may have to say no on that one. It's really tempting. Now, if it was pineapple on a pizza, now we're really talking. It's really tempting. I'll just say this, for all the controversy that, hello there, original being, for all the controversy that has come up about pineapple on pizza, I don't get the controversy. I liked it when it was cool. I talked about this in The Simpsons. I think it was every Tuesday night. We'd have a Simpsons marathon. It was on Sky One back when that channel still existed. It's weird seeing all these channels you grew up with disappear because the Disney Channel got taken off last year. And that was weird seeing that go after 25 years. And then Sky One goes, and I mean, there's probably some backstory to that, like licensing issues. I mean, the Disney channels, I can imagine it's to do with Disney Plus. No idea about Sky One, though. Yeah, it was a 2-hour marathon of The Simpsons every night, every Tuesday night, and it was a 2-for-1 deal with Domino's Pizza, which may or may not relate to the fact that Simpsons was sponsored by Domino's at that point. So yeah, pineapple and pizza, I liked that before it was controversial. And I don't know why it works, but it does work. Do you love Madagascar? Yeah, but Madagascar's all right. What's your opinion on Subway? Oh, I love Subway. I get that every week or every fortnight. Yeah, it's surprisingly good. It's probably not the healthiest option in the world, but I like Subway. Yeah, so Madagascar is probably it's all right. It's not bad. I don't know if I care about the sequel that much. I think when it comes to DreamWorks, I care about Shrek more. I care about Over the Hedge more. What else did DreamWorks do? They did How to Train Your Dragon. I might pick that over Madagascar, surprise, if I'm honest. What's better, McDonald's or Burger King? See, they both have good things going for them. I don't know. I mean, I like the Plant Whopper that they have, but that seems to Burger King, but that seems to come and go. I think McDonald's is probably more convenient, and it's probably more successful because I know of like in the city I'm in, I know of maybe 2 Burger King joints, and I know about 10 million McDonald's. Thomas's Frosty Friend. That episode rings a bell. I'm gonna have to every time someone mentions a Thomas Friends episode, I'm gonna have to Google it to see which one it was. Oh god, it's the one with the snowman balloon. See, I think when I did season 10 and season 9 and 10, I was just trying to get through them all. I remember how much of a headache season 10 was because that was 28 episodes. That was a tedious watch. I did season 10 in one night as well. That's 28 episodes, and God knows how long that is. I mean, that's 28 times 7, so that's about 3 hours there. Yeah, hold on. 30 times 7 is 210. Take off 228. Take off 14 minutes of that. That's 195. That's just over 3 hours. Have you ever tried Taco Bell? I haven't. No, I've heard that it's now a thing in the UK, but I've never actually tried it. What supermarket makes the best sandwiches? Oh, geez. I mean, I've always been a cheese plowman's guy, and I remember Sainsbury's used to make them, and oh god, and they haven't done it now. I didn't go to Sainsbury's for a while once COVID hit, and then I noticed they don't do the sandwiches anymore, and I was gutted with that. I may have to go Sainsbury's on that one. Thoughts on George Carlin and Alec Baldwin and the US Dubs Thomas? I mean, they're both great actors. I mean, George is my comedic Lord and Savior. I've got 10,000 DVDs of him down there on the DVD shelf. And Alec Baldwin's a great actor, but I mean, people say that George is the best American narrator, and I get that. I mean, it's probably true. I mean, I never stopped to think about it. He probably is. And Alec Baldwin was good in season 5, and then I don't know what happened with season 6. I don't, because people mentioned because he was getting divorced at the time, and he was nowhere near as enthusiastic as he was with season 6. I mean, say what you will about Michael Brandon, at least he was enthusiastic with his performance. Have you ever seen the Mask animated series? I think I saw it once. I mean, it aired on Cartoon Network. I know that much, but that was in the old days. I mean, I never really grew to appreciate the Mask movie until probably 2 or 3 years ago. I remember one episode I saw of The Mask was that Stanley Ipkiss needed someone to find the mask, so he hires Ace Ventura to find it. I remember that gave me a laugh, but I didn't really watch the show that much. But I know it was on Cartoon Network. Have you ever seen Anchorman? I have. I own both movies on DVD. I would say the first one's the best. but they're both really dumb. They're both really dumb movies. Like all of a sudden, Brick has a Brick's the dumbass of the group, and all of a sudden, when they're getting into a fight, he has a hand grenade. He has a hand grenade, and I don't know where he gets it from. And then in the second one, he has a gun from the future. Oh, that was awesome. Did you ever go into Woolworths when that was around? I probably did. Yeah, because the store was around until 2005, 2007, I think. Yeah, it probably was that. And yeah, I probably did go around then. Have you ever seen the 80s show Garfield and Friends? Is that the one I have from Boomerang? Oh, God. What are your thoughts? I'll come back to that one on Garfield. Because I have, it might not be, but I have recordings of, it is. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was a decent show. I'm not the biggest Garfield fan, but if it's what I have on VHS from Boomerang, then yes, I have it. Thoughts on Donald and Douglas? I think they are good characters. I think when it comes to getting them in model form for Hornby and Bachman, that took way too long. And I think I have them both for Bachman. Have you ever had Thomas merchandise growing up? I mean, if we're not counting the VHS collection, I had ERTL. I had the Wooden Railways and then Hornby and Bachman came along. I did have a model railway. I made a video about that because I found a CD of footage that my dad made from 2006. It's very outdated, but yeah, I had a model railway. It's still in my grandmother's attic. I haven't touched it in about 11 years. So God knows how dusty it is. And God knows, I don't know how well model trains work if you leave them out in the open for 11 years and never use them. Do you have a Thomas VHS called The Fogman? I do. I have all 3 from season 6. I have all 3 from season 5. I have a lot from season 1. My throat is really nippy today. What are your thoughts on the character of Thomas? He's a steam engine. He's number 1. He's a really useful engine that we all adore. He's who he is. Right, things to come up, put these back. Until someone mentions a VHS question, in which case I have to get up again. This cartoon I have ever seen. I mean, we're probably talking Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry for that one. I mean, I have been watching, there's this user called Kaiser Beams, KAISERBEAMZ, one word. He's been doing a documentary series on the history of Looney Tunes, and it's a great watch. So I'd say go check that out. Yeah, I think it's down to those 2. But if we're talking the first show I ever watched, probably Thomas and Friends, probably Tom and Jerry. Yeah, probably Tom and Jerry on that one. I remember Bad Day at Cat Rock was one of the first VHS tapes I ever owned, and the show started in 1940. So, yeah, Tom and Jerry for that one. Do you prefer railway series or TV series of Thomas? I mean, controversial opinion. I don't really care about the railway series that much. I mean, it's a thing. It's popular, but whatever. I prefer the TV show. I have a sponge. I mean, yeah, I owned the Railway series books, and they did their thing, but I remember doing this because I had the Ladybird books as well, and I had this really weird habit of going through the. I had this thing called the Big Ladybird Storybook. I had this weird habit of going through every story in the book and crossing out lines that didn't appear in the TV show, because I'm thinking the TV series is the original story, so it needs to be exactly like that. And I think I probably did that for the Railway series as well. Defacing the books is a tragedy, really. What was the last childhood year that you? When did you feel like your childhood ended? That would be 2011. Once again, it's something I talked about in Video Memories. It'll be probably the GT episode on Cartoon Network as well, and I probably did it for Ed, Edd n Eddy and TV marathons. It'll be 2011. That's when Cartoon Network went through a massive overhaul, and all the classic cartoons got taken off the network. So it was quite literally overnight as well, because I remember New Year's Eve 2010, I was watching cartoons as I do. And I think the last one I saw on the network that night was Kiss Next Door. I don't even remember what episode it was, but I remember that was the last one on the lineup. And then I wake up in the morning and everything's different. So yeah, 2011, that's when my childhood really changed. That was the last year of my childhood. And it was appropriate because that's when I was turning 17. So you grew up at that point. Favorite episode of Thomas the Friend season 2? I don't know, because season 2 had a really good balance. I feel like it's going to be Old Iron or Duck Takes Charge. It's going to be one of them. Thoughts on Rusty and the Boulder? Good episode, highly unrealistic, but unlike most Thomas the Friends fans, I don't care about realism. Do you drive? No, I don't. I am terrified of driving. Because you think it's going to be fine, but then you're put behind the wheel and they tell you to look both ways, steer very slowly, keep an eye on the blind spots, push the accelerator pedal down to that much to the thickness of a pound coin. I was like, ah! Driving is a terrifying concept. I remember taking a driving lesson about 6 or 7 years ago, and I remember getting really irate with the driving instructor because she kept grabbing the steering wheel, and I get why she was doing it. I get that. But my main thought was, how am I going to learn if I can't deal with the danger myself? Have you ever seen the Super Mario Brothers movie? Is that the one with Bob Hoskins? I've seen that. Bob Hoskins did a good job as Mario, I think. And now I know where this question's coming because they announced the cast from the animated movie, and for some reason Chris Pratt is playing Mario. And I remember I was reading on Twitter and I was talking to my friends about this, and there's a lot of confusion going on there, and Twitter was making fun of it the second it was announced. And a lot of jokes are about how Mario is now a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, and you have Jack Black as Bowser. There's no way in hell you can take the movie seriously at that point. If you have Jack Black as a bad guy, you cannot take it seriously. I should do this more often. Oh God, if I had the time. I just figured it was my 15th anniversary. Don't call me Dirty Percy. I can't remember the quotes for that. I know it's from Thomas Percy and the Squeak, but I can't remember the quotes. Yeah, I just did this because, it's my 15th anniversary. I just wanted to sit down and talk about YouTube and just see what everyone else wants to talk about. Because YouTube has changed over the years. It's weird when you think about how far it's come. I mentioned this at the beginning, but we've gone from full screen to widescreen. We've gone from the 5-star rating to the thumbs up. We've gone from not being able to upload longer than 10 minutes to it being a career option and being able to post as much as long as you want. Yeah, times have really changed on that one. And I remember with YouTube just being, it was a luxury at that point. Just being able to, it was amazing just being able to find the things you were able to find on there, like Cartoon Network stuff. Obviously, of course, that's the first thing I go to. You just find all the great stuff from that. Do you like memes? It depends. It depends what the memes are. I've never been one to go straight towards memes, really. I feel like if you use a joke too often, and this is coming from someone who always had a clip from the Bell play whenever I talked about Michelangelos. You do a joke long enough, it gets old after a while. Oh, I don't know why I kept doing that joke. It got really old after a while. I mean, honestly, at that point, I was needing something to fill time, and that was the first video clip I had, was him from the Bill. Too Much Pussy in the Squeak was a good episode. I will defend season 6. I thought it was a good watch. DC fan or Marvel fan? I mean, I've done an episode on the Video Memories episode on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so there you go. Yeah, I don't really care for DC that much. I mean, the old Batman movies with Michael Keaton are good. Val Kilmer was an alright Batman. Love Island, I have taste, so no, I haven't seen it. Oh god. I saw Suicide Squad, the original. That sucked. I saw Batman vs Superman. It did nothing for me. And even the new Suicide Squad, it's a whatever movie. It's got a terrible opening, but it has a good ending. So, whatever. Thoughts on the Shining Time song? I mean, it's all right. Batman Mask of the Phantasm. That rings a bell. Isn't that? I think that's a new thing. It sounds like a new thing, and I'm sure I've heard of it somewhere. See, and I didn't even care for Marvel that much at the beginning, and then Avengers Endgame came out, and yeah, Endgame came out, and it was the biggest movie of all time, and I was like, right, I'm going to have to watch it at some point to see if it's good. And then I realized there's 21 or 22 movies that precede that, so I'm going to have to sit down and watch them all. And you know, I sat and watched them all, and they actually grew on me. Are there any reality shows that make you don't wish you're dead? Yeah, I mean, Kitchen Nightmares is good. I like stuff with Gordon Ramsay. I mean, you look at MasterChef, you look at... I mean, I used to watch Hell's Kitchen, but then that got old. I feel like MasterChef is probably more interesting because it's actual non-professionals doing the contest. So I think that's what makes it more interesting. Have you got COVID-19 vaccination? Yeah, I've had both. The first one, I had a nippy head and a nippy arm, but the headache was gone after one day. That's probably because it was early in the morning. I got the first jab at 8 o'clock in the morning. And oh my God, that was not fun. And I was waiting in a queue for that as well. And the second one I was completely fine with. I don't even think my arm nipped that much for that one. So yeah. Yeah, I've been on edge with COVID since it began, because I've had my wedding date planned since 2019. And I really did not want to have to reschedule it. So I think once the wedding date's passed, I'll be able to just relax and just watch the world recover. What's the one food that you hate the taste of and never want to eat again? First one that comes to mind is olives. I don't get the appeal of olives. They are the most disgusting thing ever. They were invented by the devil. Favorite episode of season 3? Oh God, we're going to go through every single season, aren't we? Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones? Breaking Bad. I was actually that one. Game of Thrones I couldn't get into. Favorite episode of season 3? Oh God, it's going to be between Trust Thomas and The Trouble with Mud, I think. Because Trust Thomas I grew up with. That was the first one I saw from season 3. That was on Children's Preschool Compilation. I saw that video on eBay about a month or two ago, and I was actually half tempted to buy it, despite the fact I don't plan to review it. Yeah, that'd be the first one I saw, and Trouble with Mud. Probably because Gordon's a back engine in that. I've got weird reasons for liking episodes. The most overrated movie, in your opinion? Oh boy. That's a hard one, actually. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is Toy Story 4, because I've heard that people love it, and I hate it. I hate it. See, most of the movies I hate, other people hate as well. And there have been movies that I hated at first and then grew to like. Oh God. Actually, another one, a controversial opinion on this one, Space Jam. Because people praise the everlasting life out of that movie. And yeah, I have it on VHS. Hang on. Another trip to the VHS shelf. Yeah, I own this on VHS, and the weird thing is I don't get the love for it. I have no nostalgic love for this, and like I mentioned, that hurt me when it came to the sequel. I don't know if it's the most overrated, because I sort of like it, but it is a overrated movie, considering the amount of praise it gets. I don't know. I mean, it may have to be Toy Story 4. Because I've heard people say that it's good, but it's definitely the weakest of the 4. I didn't get into it. I couldn't like it. Yeah, it may have to be Toy Story 4 in that one. Yeah, I've heard that people didn't like Space Jam when it came out, and it had a cult following. I don't get the nostalgic love. And this has come from someone who loves Looney Tunes. You've never seen Toy Story 4? Yeah. People like it, but they say it's the worst. The Toy Story ended perfectly with Toy Story 3. We didn't need another one. Yeah, Space Jam. I don't get the hype. It's probably because we grew up with it. That's probably what it is. Controversial opinion. I have a more nostalgic love for Tom and Jerry the movie, the original, from 1993. I have a more nostalgic love for that than I do Space Jam. Toy Story 4 was made for cash. I don't know. I think it had good intentions. And I've heard that the original director, John Lasseter, and I've heard that he had good things in that. I like talking about movies. I mean, don't we all really? I just like telling stories about why I like things. Yeah, so I think... No, you want a movie that's made for cash. That was Space Jam 2. I think that there was good intentions with Toy Story 4. Hi, Jordan. Yeah, we're just talking about random nonsense here. And we're celebrating my 15th anniversary here. So just feel free to talk about whatever you want. We're talking about Space Jam and Toy Story 4 now. I think there was good intentions with Toy Story 4, but I don't know what it was. I mean, Buzz's personality was incredibly butchered in that it just felt unnecessary. I think that's what it was. I mean, if you look at Toy Story 3, we're lucky it came out as good as it did, considering it took 11 years to get that made. Space Jam: A New Legacy, I had absolutely no expectations for. And you know what's weird? This is what's funny. I talked to my friends with this. One of my friends hates it more than me because I don't know what it was. I think he cares more about the original movie than I did. Yeah, I think that's what it is. He cared about the original more than I did. Therefore, he hates the sequel. I mean, I had no expectations going into Space Jam, and I don't know if I was disappointed or not because I expected it to be garbage, and it was. So I don't even know if that counts as being disappointed or not. What do you like more, Pepsi or Cola? I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with Pepsi. I may have to go Pepsi on that one, and I don't even like Pepsi that much. Have you ever driven a train? I did once. It was in 1885. I was pushing a fancy car from the future, and I crashed it over a ravine. Jordan, hopefully you didn't pay much for the DVD because, see, people praise. I could talk about Space Jam and why I don't like the sequel forever, and people praise it, but people praise the movie for what it did. But my response is, come back in 6 months, watch it again, watch the original, and then come back to the sequel, and see how it holds up. Do you like Charlotte's Web live action? I'm sure I've seen that. I'm sure I watched that at one point. I don't think I have much of an opinion on that one. Oh God. See, that's the thing. I'm not done talking about Space Jam. I saw the trailer when it came out, and I saw all the comments, and not one person was talking about the movie and not mentioning nostalgia. And, you know, nostalgia doesn't make a movie. And nostalgia doesn't make a movie good. It's like, you know, my mother-in-law is like this as well. She likes a character. Therefore, a TV show or a movie is good. I'm like, you can have a good cast and the movie can still be garbage. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a better movie than both Space Jams. I will agree to that. Because there was at least passion in that one. Your mate says Space Jam: A New Legacy is a great movie. Clearly he has terrible taste. But to each their own. Oh my God. To each their own, but I think Space Jam 2 is garbage. And like I say, I don't even love the first one that much. Mm. I mean, watch it for yourself. Maybe you'll like it. But it's too long. The plot is paper thin as it is. They don't even technically play basketball. It's in LeBron's son's video game. And also, the reason they're playing basketball is incredibly dumb. It's something to do with a subscription service that LG Rhythm, I think that's his name, he came up with. And they talk about all these characters making cameos in the basketball game. You see them for 2 seconds, and then that's it. You see Pennywise. You see the Warner Brothers from Animaniacs. You see The Mask. You see characters from A Clockwork Orange. You see them for 2 seconds, and then that's it. Yeah, and this was the biggest insult to my fiance. She loved the first movie, and she loved the nerd looks. And she was gutted when she heard that they weren't coming back. And then we saw the movie. They do appear briefly. And the first thing she said was, that's reused animation from the original movie. I love how she noticed that. Because it was the 2 seconds they were in the movie, it was reused animation from the first movie when they're trying to capture Bugs Bunny. And Bugs goes, did he have great big long ears like this? Did you say, what's up, Doc, like this? Nope, never heard of him. Aww. Yeah, that's all reused footage from the first movie. She noticed that like that. and she thinks that's more of an insult than them not coming back. Looney Tunes Back in Action was a better movie, yes. I don't know why my chat keeps censoring the word shit. I don't have it programmed for that. 2021 looks like a shit year for films. Yeah, Space Jam 2 was rubbish. I will say this. I don't think it was the worst movie this year. That one goes to Fast 9. I was excited for that movie because I went and rewatched Fate of the Furious before I saw that. That Fate of the Furious still holds up. And then I watched Fast 9 and oh my God. The fact that Han's alive, I hate that twist. It is complete garbage. Because if you watch Tokyo Drift or you watch Fast and Furious 6, you see that Han does not escape that car before it explodes. That is complete horse shit. But I think the biggest offense with Fast 9 is that it's boring. Yeah, Fast 9 is probably the worst movie this year. Suicide Squad wasn't even that good either. I think the best movie this year has to be Luca from Pixar. That was a good movie. I can't even think if there's anything else that's been really good this year. I mean, Jungle Cruise, I've heard, came out. Jungle Cruise came out. I've heard that that's all right. Yeah, I don't even. Can anyone name any other movies that came out this year? If you could change. If you could change Back to the Future, what would you change on why? I think the only thing I would change is that as great as the original movie is, I don't think Doc Brown's character was perfected until we got the second movie. So if I could take his personality from the second movie and put it in the first, that would probably work. And probably Marty's chicken issue, I feel like that should be in the first movie as well. Yeah, I mean, Back to the Future 1 is probably a perfect movie as it is, but when they got the sequel, they weren't even sure whether that movie was going to succeed or not. And they didn't think they had a franchise with that. And then when they got the sequels planned out, they were able to flesh out all the characters, so that helped. Film is as shit as the old one from '93. I don't know if it was. Here's the N word again. Nostalgia. That's the good N word, by the way. That's the one you can actually say. Yeah, I've heard it does a fair few things right, but the plot is just kind of meh. I feel like if you just want to watch a movie with Tom and Jerry and you have no expectations, that one will probably do you. I feel like I have a stronger attachment to the '93 version than I do the new one. The new one's definitely not one of the best Tom and Jerry movies. I hate manure. Oh, that's beautiful. Why does this thing keep holding comments? I need to have a look at that. Yeah, the new one is not one of the best Tom and Jerry movies. And yeah, I would say it's a good movie, but just don't expect much. I mean, I was loving the one thing I loved about that movie. I don't know if it's a fact is that Tom's old scream is used. It's when he gets electrocuted, I think, and then it's in the alley and he just goes, and he does the iconic scream. I was so happy that was in the movie. I mean, if you want a Tom and Jerry movie that's live, if you want a Tom and Jerry movie where they don't talk, that's probably your movie. He does talk at one bit, and this is gold. It's when he's playing piano in the hotel and he's auto-tuned, and then Jerry slams the piano lid on him, and he screams with auto-tune. That was gold. What's next? Cars on DVD. I have that. Wait a minute. I saw a comment about having old movies. The only one here gets interested in watching older movies. I don't know, because old movies are great. I mean, look at the Universal Monsters. I'm talking about them in a few weeks. I think it depends on what the movie offers, because Universal Monsters are great. I saw. Why does my throat nip? I saw Casablanca. I think it's just mostly stuff featuring Boris Karloff or Bela Lugosi. Those are the ones I've seen. I saw the Hammer movies, the Hammer Dracula movies with Christopher Lee. I saw them. A fair few of them were good. Avoid Dracula AD 1972 and the Satanic Rites of Dracula. Avoid them. So I think it depends on what the movie is offering. Have you seen Total Drama Island? I've heard of that. I think that was on Cartoon Network. I've not seen it. I know of. I've heard of it though. So yeah, old movies versus new movies. I think it depends on what you're being offered. I think some really great movies I have seen recently. One of them was Ready Player One was obviously really good. Now that's how you do nostalgia. That's what that movie did right and Space Jam did wrong. Because they actually take advantage of all these other franchises instead of just crowbarring them in for 2 seconds. Because that movie had Chucky, it had Freddy Krueger, I think. It had Back to the Future. It had The Iron Giant. It had great video games. That's how you do like a massive tie-in. That's how you do nostalgia. Actually, if you want a controversial opinion, I think the DeLorean in Ready Player One looks better than it does in Back to the Future. And another one was another great one. This is probably one of the best horror movies I've seen in recent years. Ready or Not. This woman marries into this weird, creepy family. And it's a tradition it's like an induction of the family. You have to play a game of hide and seek. And if you survive until morning, if they catch you, they sacrifice you to some ancient family member. And I remember she survives till the morning until the husband turns on her. And I thought this almost ruined the movie for me. But the husband turns on her because obviously she's never going to trust him again after this. And he tries to join the family and sacrifice her. But the curse doesn't work when the sun rises. Nothing really happens for a few seconds. And then all of a sudden they just explode into a bloody pulpy mess, and it was great. And then the husband tries to beg for forgiveness, and then the wife pulls her wedding ring off and says she wants a divorce, and then the husband just explodes. That saved the movie. That was brilliant. The Child's Play movies. See, I've heard that they never really got really popular until I think it was Bride of Chucky and Curse of Chucky. That's when they became more comedy. I've heard that's when they became really good. I think the 80s ones are really dated. I don't know, maybe they're still really good. I saw the one with Mark Hamill, and I think Mark Hamill did a good job as Chucky. Friday the 13th versus Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, I may have to go Freddy on that one as well. He's got personality. I mean, if you like slasher movies where the humans just get torn to pieces and get murdered in the most brutal ways imaginable, yeah, Friday the 13th could work for you. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, I'd say the first one and the third one are probably the best ones. But you can't go wrong with Freddy versus Jason, though. That was a great movie. Yeah, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. Yeah, I think my other half said that movie was terrible as well. See, I don't think she loves SpongeBob as much as she does now, especially since she found the Loud House, because that show is actually genuinely good. Yeah, and I've heard that the SpongeBob spin-offs are doing terribly. The first two Child Play movies are great. Yeah, I mean, I like them, but I feel like if you're going to go back to any of them, it works when you don't know Chucky's alive. That does make sense. That makes sense. Because in at the beginning, it shows you doing black magic, and it shows Bradley doing black. What's the character's name? It's Charlie, I think. He does black magic to put himself in a doll, and yeah, that it would be more suspenseful if you didn't know he was alive. Season 3, your least favorite? I think it's just the level of content. I prefer season 1 and 5. They're the best. I grew to season 2 grew on me. Oh god, the frame rate is horrific. Season 2 grew on me when I did Farewell Thomas, and season 4 I've always liked. So yeah, I think season 3 and 4 are probably my least favorite, but season 3, you know, it's all right. I don't hate it. But I mean, you compare it to the Sharon Miller season. Season 3 obviously beats that. I've seen Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead's a great movie. Probably my favorite zombie movie, just even though it's really dumb. Favorite Christmas movie? Oh, fudge. I don't know. I've got a long list of favorite Christmas movies. Where did you get the name Gondorf? I talked about that in the birthday Q&A. It was just a name I made up. It was for a movie script I was writing for a Back to the Future sequel, and the story was terrible, but the story I wrote was terrible, but I kept the name. I don't know what my favorite Christmas movie is. I mean, Die Hard is obviously good. Lethal Weapon's good. Christmas Vacation's good. And my soon-to-be wife's favorite Christmas movie, it's got to be Gremlins. Mr. Popper's Penguins, I've seen it. It was all right. More health and safety violations than Willy Wonka's factory. I've seen videos about how. No, it's not my last name. No normal person has that name. Trust me. It's just a pseudonym. That's all it is. Yeah, I've seen videos about how much of a health hazard Willy Wonka's factory is, and how much of a illegal douchebag he was. Like, that whole contest where he gives it the golden tickets. Apparently that's an illegal sweeps. I watched a channel called Legal Eagle. He's been a practicing lawyer for 12 years, and he dissects all your favorite movies to see how inaccurate they are when it comes to the law. And he mentioned that Willy Wonka did an illegal sweepstakes with that contest, and for all the damage the kids go through, excuse me, he would basically go into prison for about 120 years, and he'd be paying like $80 million, more than that, in damages. Cartoon Network or Disney Channel, which had the best cartoons? Cartoon Network, obviously. But Disney did well. I mean, I think if you wanted cartoons only, you would have to go to Toon Disney with that. And like I say, I didn't give Toon Disney the attention it deserved, because it had Recess, it had Kim Possible, it had House of Mouse, it had Goof Troop, it had Timon and Pumbaa. Yeah, Toon Disney had great stuff. I didn't pay attention to it. Do you like Mr. Bean? I like the TV show. I like the movie. Not so much the second movie. And I used to watch the animated one. That was back in the old days when it was on Nicktoons, I think. I mean, it was all right. I don't know if Bean translates well in animation form, though. Because you're basically watching a silent cartoon at that point. So yeah, I think Cartoon Network had the best cartoons. I mean, honestly, something versus Cartoon Network, who wins? Cartoon Network always wins. Yeah, the teen sitcoms in Disney, those were hard to watch because there was That's So Raven, there was Lizzie McGuire. Oh yeah, Timon and Pumbaa's great. Even on Disney Plus, that show is amazing. Yeah, there's That's So Raven, Lizzie McGuire, Phil of the Future, The Sweet Life, Corey in the House, Wizards of Waverly Place. I mean, that one was probably the best one, Wizards of Waverly Place. I never really cared for the teen sitcoms that much. Yeah, it was mostly cartoons like Recess, House of Mouse, Lilo and Stitch, Goof Troop, Kim Possible. Kim Possible's still my favorite. Even Fillmore, because that was good back in the day. It doesn't hold up well these days, Fillmore. It's not even on Disney Plus. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, that was a great show. I suppose Pepper Ann if you're stretching. I'm trying to think of other cartoons out there. I mean, there was Lloyd in Space. That was fine. Did you watch any of the 4 Lilo and Stitch movies? I did. On my DVD shelf, I own Stitch the movie and Leroy and Stitch. I remember being really excited for Leroy and Stitch, and it's a good ending. The TV show is good. I don't think any of them compare to the first movie, though, obviously. Because Lilo and Stitch is probably in my top 5. I think that's one of those things where you're not sure why you love it, but then you watch and you're like, yep, I remember now. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other cartoons that were on Disney. When in doubt, look at the VHS and DVD shelf to see if it triggers anything. Yeah, I'm not getting much. Jungle Cubs, that was another one. I don't know why I struggled with that one. I did a video memories episode on that one. Yeah, they were all good stuff. I feel like if Toon Disney was around these days, if it was around in the late 2000s, if it wasn't replaced by Disney Cinemagic, I would have paid attention to it more. Thoughts on Aqua Teen Hunger Force? I've never watched it. My favorite stop motion animations, it's got to be Postman Pat and Pingu. Yeah, they are easily the best ones. Pingu's probably the best preschool show I ever watched, because I remember I've mentioned this many times, and it's in the top 10 video memories list. But Pingu was only a filler episode to build up to Thomas Gets Bumped, and then I rewatched the first season of Pingu, and it was amazing. I love Pingu. Pingu's amazing. Pingu's awesome. Treasure Planet and Atlantis Lost Empire. I may have seen Treasure Planet. I probably have. Oh, you asked about top 10 AVGN. I've not seen that one. Yeah, I don't think I've seen them yet. Have you seen the film Cookie? No. Cartoon Network Adult Swim shows. You know, it's weird. I never had Adult Swim over here in the UK. I never actually watched Adult Swim until 2010, I think. And Robot Chicken's good. Rick and Morty's good. I think the best one that was on there, I think Family Guy was on. Was on there. And if it was, I think it's probably my favorite Adult Swim show. Top 5 favorite AVGN. I don't know. I mean, I can name my other half's favorites. She likes the Mega Man episode. I think she likes ones that are just really over the top. And they're really goofy. That would be Mega Man, the AVGN Games episode, Quest. She loved that one. She likes Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, that recent one. I think just anything that's really over the top, that's her thing. Yeah, those are our top 4. I forget what other ones she liked. I think I'm just a massive fan of Cinemassacre and what James makes on there. And the movie trailers like Flying Fucker Nuts. She loves that one as well. I don't know. I still really like modern AVG, and I'm just looking to be entertained. That's one of those things where I could be watching something, I can see Cinemassacre's uploaded, and I'm like, right, switch off, gotta watch that. It's like a show coming on Cartoon Network. I can compare everything to Cartoon Network. I've talked about South Park. I don't like it. I never really got into Futurama. I still haven't. Lego is all right. I mean, I'm not super creative with that. Yeah, I could watch AVGN, and I watch Cinemassacre on pretty much a daily basis. I mean, when you think about it, he's been doing the show for 15 years. He's got 2 kids now. He's got to pay the bills somehow. I like when he talks about movies. That's always a highlight. One video he has that is probably one of the most rewatchable things he's done is which Dracula movie is most accurate to the book. I watch that at least once a month. Oh, Monster Madness is great. I would watch that every year. That's coming out in October, and actually, I just remembered something about Cinemassacre because the Monster Madness. Yeah, Pepsi Man was a good episode. My other half's favorite Ninja Turtles. She used to like them, but I think the Michael Bay movies kind of ruined them for her. I think she liked I think she watched the Batman versus Ninja Turtles crossover, and I don't think she likes Ninja Turtles that much these days, but I think she liked the 1990s one. All right, see you, Leon. Have a good time. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed themselves here. I might go for another 10 minutes, see how things are. It was, I think it's still there. The monorail, I think it's still there. I haven't looked in the attic in about 11 years, but I would assume it's still there. Obviously, if the railway was ever dismantled, I would do a proper video about what the layout looks like in its current form, and then I would talk about all the models I had. Now, I remember this. We were talking about top good movies this year. One movie I need to mention is Willy's Wonderland. It was a really dumb movie. It's basically Five Nights at Freddy's, but with Nicolas Cage. And I had absolutely no expectations going in. And then it turns out that the Nicolas Cage's character is a complete psychopath, and that the real victims in the movie are the animatronics, because he beats the living daylights out of them. Yeah, that movie is one of my favorite movies this year. It's just the most insane movie ever. It was brilliant. Brum or Rosie and Jim? Yeah, I saw Brum a couple of times as a kid. I mean, whatever. Rosie and Jim, was that on Children's Preschool Compilation? I don't think it was. I don't think it was, so I never really cared for Rosie and Jim that much, despite the fact of how many times I've seen an ad on there. The hardest video memories episode to make. Oh boy. I mean, Simpsons was pretty easy because I didn't do the marathon at the same time. I did the marathon a year prior. I had no plans to make that into an episode. I mean, if we're talking time-consuming, probably Farewell Thomas, because that is, I actually planned that, and then that was 3 weeks I spent watching the marathon. Yeah, I may have to go for that. I mean, the Universal Monsters, that one took a while as well. That Universal Monsters made me realize just how outdated my software is. A Rosie and Jim horror movie. I mean, I want to see a Thomas and Friends horror movie. Imagine that, like just a possessed steam engine chasing you. I mean, Steven Spielberg did a movie called Duel. It was basically a man being pursued by a crazy lunatic in a pickup truck in an 18-wheeler. And just imagine a Thomas and Friends version of that. Hey, Josh, I'm about to go off, but if you've got anything you want to talk about in the last few minutes, by all means. Jim used to creep the fuck out of me. I really wish this thing wouldn't censor swear words. Have I tried any animation? I haven't, no. I have no artistic talent beyond music. They did the banana splits. Oh, bananas and pajamas. That was a horrifying thing to see in CGI. Because that was just people dressed up in suits, and all of a sudden they're in CG, and like, that is creepy. And I know what people are going to say when it comes to Tom's Friends being horror. The Beano, I know what that is. Isn't that maybe like Dennis the Menace? And I know what people are going to say. They're going to say that all the animation designs for All Engines Go are Tweety's horror. No, we need Teletubbies. That's what a horror movie is. That's what we need. It's souls of kids being trapped inside the Teletubbies' bodies. That's what we need. I know what people are going to say. It's the CGI, the character designs for All Engines Go is basically a horror movie, but like I say, I don't care about the show. I think that the characters look fine, but I don't know, maybe the kids like the show, so who am I to judge? Yeah, I've not been keeping up with what they're saying on like Soda Island forums or what reviews people have been making for All Engines, because I just don't care at this point, because I know what the fans are like. They're older fans. They've never really liked change when it comes to the show, so I don't really keep up with that. I mean, I stick with what I said in Farewell Thomas. The series ended for me with Big World, Big Adventures, and when I did Farewell Thomas. I stand by what I said there. Horror version of Rainbow. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what would be the weirdest thing to have as a horror thing. I mean, Postman Pat could be horror, like a postman that goes around killing everyone. Bug Alert could be horrifying. I don't know. I think Teletubbies might be the funniest one. The All Engines Go wikis full of drama. I can imagine. I can imagine. I mean, honestly, after Big World, Big Adventures, horror Barney movie. There we go. Now we're talking, Josh. Now we're talking. The funny thing was, I heard the original Barney performer is now a sex therapist. He's a massage therapist, so I thought that was perfect. Yeah, a horror. I mean, what can you do for a horror Barney movie and not have it be like Jurassic Park? How much can you do there? Yeah, a Barney movie that may be the most perfect thing ever. The baby's son becomes the head dictator and speaks blabber to make Tinky Winky Dipsy. September. Horror Pingu. Yeah, I would watch any of these if these were ever made. A horror movie of Blue's Clues. Now, in the UK, that would be Kevin, and in the America, it would be Steve or Joe, or I forget what the current guy's called. Horror Singing Kettle. Oh my fucking God. Oh, that's beautiful. What were we talking about? It was horror version of Blue's Clues. At that point, you would have to make it seem like, if we're talking American, we'd have to make it seem like whoever's taking care of Blue, it'd be Steve or Joe. You'd have to make it seem like they've got schizophrenia. They're basically talking to the audience, so it's they've lost their minds completely. Thoughts on Fraggle Rock? I've never seen Fraggle Rock. I think it's basically it's a Jim Henson show. I didn't even watch the Muppets that much. Now I've heard that people might suggest a horror version of Dora the Explorer, but I've heard that a Dora the Explorer movie came out last year, I think, and I've heard it was actually surprisingly good. I didn't watch it, but Super Ted, never seen that either. I'm very limited. Watson said seen kettle, blood and decapitated bodies. Oh God. Oh God, I can imagine that. I can imagine they open the kettle and just blood and guts just pour out, and oh God, that would be precious. Yeah, the Dora movie I've heard was actually popular. And it actually worked. I mean, for what it was. Super Ted was good when you were 5. See, that's the problem, because that's the problem when you rewatch shows, because I thought Fat Dog Mendoza was amazing as a kid, and I went back to rewatch it in 2007. It doesn't hold up. Horror Tugs movie, I mean, that's Speed 2 when you think about it. And then I went back a few weeks ago to try Fat Dog Mendoza again. I can confirm Fat Dog Mendoza is a terrible TV show. So yeah, it always helps to rewatch a TV show when you grow up and see if it holds up. Never go back to things that you liked when you were young. I don't know. Some things hold up. Pingu holds up. Yeah, I never really cared for Fireman Sam. Yeah, Pingu holds up immensely. That I think it's just because of how creative it is, especially with the voice of Carlos. What's his name? I forget who did, because he did all the voices himself. Horror version of Rugrats where Angelica tries to kill you. So that is a movie right there. Yeah, some things hold up, some don't. I think when you're a kid, you don't care what you watch, which is probably why the kids are going to love All Engines Go, because they enjoy it. Because it's made for them. Yeah, Pingu holds up. Possum Pat probably holds up. Three Friends and Jerry. See, I've heard of that show. I've heard of that. I know that was on Nick Jr. as well. I never watched that. See, when it comes to Nick Jr., I watched For Blue's Clues and Thomas and Friends. That was it. I mean, outside of watching Thomas and Friends on Nick Jr. Classics, it was out of the picture by 2001, I think. The only reason I would go to Nick Jr. is if a new Thomas and Friends episode aired. I remember when season 11 came out, I watched that on Nick Jr., but that was it. Yeah, because I've heard that the revival, I think it's still going, and of Possum Pat's going, and I've heard that's still going well, and the movie was surprisingly good. The movie had no. I think I watched that out of curiosity, and it had no right being that good. Horror film of Flying Rhino Junior High. Now we're talking. That show holds up. That's a good one. I went back and watched Tabaluga as well, and that show was good as well. Yeah, horror version of Flying Rhino Junior High. I mean, when you think about it, that's horror version of the Tidings. I don't know, because I can't find the Tidings anywhere apart from YouTube. I don't even know if there was someone who uploaded episodes of the Tidings from a DVD. I don't even know if the channel's still there. Flying Rhino Junior High, that's basically Are You Afraid of the Dark? Horror Blinky Bill. Oh, that's beautiful. I haven't gone back to watch Blinky Bill. I don't think I've had a mad desire to watch that one. The weird thing is I've kind of grown to like the theme music despite it being incredibly long. Do you remember, do you have any obscure shows no one remembers? I mean, The Tidings is one of them. Maybe Flying Rhino Junior High, because, that aired for 2 seasons in the 90s, and it went off Cartoon Network around 2003, I think. Probably earlier than that, actually. Yeah, probably The Tidings and Flying Rhino Junior High. Thoughts on newer Cartoon Network shows? I mean, my other half likes Steven Universe. Gumball's all right. I've been told Adventure Time is good, but I just didn't care for many of the new shows. I was like a kid throwing a tantrum when they're told they're not allowed to go out with their friends on Saturday night. that's basically that's probably how I felt towards all the new stuff on with the new Star Network. I mean, Blinky Bill's probably still good, but I never really. I don't think I've watched that since it went off there. Gumball has its moments. I remember one episode was Gumball wanted money to go see a movie, so his plan was to, I think he tied a toaster or something to his teeth and was going to pull his teeth out and get money from the tooth fairy to go. He was going to drop it out of his bedroom window. That was his plan to get money for a movie. Favorite percussion? I mean, you got the drumsticks. I've got maracas over there. Hang on. And I knocked stuff over. Yeah, I've got a couple of maracas, and I've got a harmonica that's very ancient. It's very. I think I sat on this at some point. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with percussion. I can use anything. I can use anything to play percussion because Ringo's newest EP came out. I think it was 2 days ago. It's a great EP, by the way. So was Zoom In and Zoom Out. Yeah, I've got neighbors, obviously, so I can't play drums that much. So I will use a couch cushion to play drums on. So I'm like this. And it works for me. After All Engines Go, a live-action Thomas of Friends TV show about kids playing with it. That's basically the Lego movie at that point. That would be a great twist that with all the models, it turns out, can you imagine that it's just one character? It's like in Blue's Clues, you got a human character leading everything. Can you imagine if, while you were watching the old episodes with Ringo or George, you pull the camera back and you see Ringo or George with an engineer hat on, and they were telling all the stories. Horror video memories plot. I get possessed by my VCR and is forced to watch the worst videos, and the VCR spits at Chad Valley video. Oh God. See, as much as I ragged on Chad Valley, it's not technically a bad movie. I mean, it does what it's a free give. It was a free giveaway, and you get five unrelated episodes. It's a complete piece of garbage, but you get what you pay for. Oh yeah, you go into it. You can play percussion on anything. I mean, honestly, you'd be surprised how often I pick up the six and play along to something like Back Off Boogaloo or something. Yeah, so Chad Valley, it was a crappy giveaway. Oh, Thomas the Tank Engine is a metaphor for fascism. Fuck, the secret's out now. Do you think the engines can drive on their own without driver or fireman? I mean, you've seen in Magic Railroad how they can do it. The faulty VH, I get locked in the video store. I mean, honestly, if I was locked in a video store like Global Video or even Blockbuster, that would be really cool. I mean, as long as I had a TV to watch everything on it, to watch things, I'd be covered until someone came to rescue me. Train's life's a living hell. Oh God, see, it's deep when you read a lot into this. Because people, they sometimes talk about how realism is important, but then you realize these are talking steam trains. They never elaborate on how they can talk and why they have emotions. It's never elaborated on. Yeah, so Chad Valley. Let's see if I can get this out before I see another question. Chad Valley it was a free giveaway in 2002. VHS rental shop. Oh God. And you know, it was a free giveaway. You buy a toy for it, and You buy a toy, and then you get that for free, and you get what you pay for. Really, it's a free piece of garbage. That's it. But the problem is that if you're obsessed enough to buy a toy that the thing comes with, you probably already owned all 5 episodes, because there was Thomas Percy and the Cole. I own that on Percy and the Signal. There was Toby and the Flood, which I own on, I think it's Rescues on the Railways. I think that's on. I'm doing this all from memory. Edward's Exploit, which I own on Funtime Favorites. I own Donald's Duck on, I think it's on the season 3 box set that I rejected back when I did Percy and the Signal, and Henry's Forest, which I own. I think is also on Funtime Favorites as well, and it's on Trust Thomas as well. So yeah, if you get something like that, you don't even need to own it. You don't need it. It's definitely the worst thing I own. The worst VHS tape I own, because it adds nothing. Favorite Ringo Starr Thomas and Friends episode? I don't know. I don't know which my favorite Ringo episode is. I care more about his music than I do his narration, because if I learned anything while doing Farewell Thomas, it was that he was a very basic narrator. I mean, to be fair, there was no one else to compare to. He did the job. It works. That was it. Yeah. He did a fine job, but he wasn't a super great narrator. Especially, he delivers some lines really badly, especially in the American dub. I think his best American episode would have to be Henry's Special Call. I would say he did a better job with that than the British one. And I think one of his worst episodes overall was Dirty Work. I remember highlighting that in Farewell Thomas. Horror film, but on digital, because, well, to be fair, it was a really flawed TV service. So that I think that nearly bankrupted the company that made it, because it was very limited. There was a lot of really bad decisions involving that. Watch The Magic Roundabout. That's one of my best stories when I talk about on digital. They invested a lot of money in that, and there was a lot of really outdated mechanics and really bad financial decisions made. I saw someone actually had a working on digital box. I mean, obviously you couldn't watch any channels properly, but they had an on digital box that still worked. And it was really weird looking at all that stuff again. And quality as well. See, it's weird. On digital had really nice presentation, but there's just a lot of really bad decisions that happened with it. Why did you not say Michelangelo's name in 2017 and 2018? I think it's just because I thought his name's Nigel, but it was a good joke. And I don't know why I did it, because I did Chronicles of Gondorth. I talked about Michelangelo in that, and I needed a visual portion, visual bit for that. Visual. Actually, I don't know if I did that or if I did Mike's showcase first, because I needed a live action clip of every narrator. And the bill was just all I had. And I think it may have been the showcase I did first. And I think when I did Chronicles, I just had music playing and I needed something to fill the air. So I just put the audio clip of that scene in. And, and it sort of stuck with me for some reason. I don't know why I kept doing that joke. But then when Mike died last year, I retired the joke because I wasn't going to use it anymore. I feel like the joke had to go at that point. Michelangelo sounded bored, and are you looking forward to The Matrix? I've never really. There's another thing. I haven't watched the Matrix movies. I am missing out on a lot of things. So I've never really cared to watch the Matrix. See, I don't know if Michael was bored in the later seasons, because. And this may have to do with Alec Baldwin as well. In season 6, I don't know. It depends what the voice director wants. Because if you do a performance that the voice doesn't like, they ask for a retake. And maybe his style in the later, in the Head Entertainment era and then the Sharon Miller era, maybe that's just what the voice director was looking for. And then you look at Mark Monahan and his narration style. It was similar to Angelus and Brandon. That was basically, it was a similar thing. So he did become slower with that. And then when he did the Railway Stories, he was slow in that. So I think it just depends on what the voice director was looking for. Oh, God. Right, I think I'll do 5 more minutes. I think my voice is starting to die on me. Oh, God. Anything else people want to talk about? Yeah, that was weird. I remember when I did Mike's showcase, I mentioned, and then when I did his that video where I talked about him at the end, and when he died, I remember we all thought it was 1952, but then it came out of nowhere that he was born in 1944. I mean, not that it matters really, because I did that showcase when he's alive and now he's dead, so there's not much I can do about that. Venom 2, I mean, meh. I mean, Venom 1 was all right. I mean, I don't have that high. I don't really have high expectations for Venom 2. I mean, you go to see that movie, you go to see it for Venom and Eddie being bros. That was it. Yeah, see, that's another thing I mentioned with Michael and voice directors, because he did, I think it was the Railway Stories Volume 3 that had dirty objects on it. And I remember because he's my favorite narrator and he does the best James voice. And I was gutted when he doesn't do the James voice in Dirty Objects. And then along came season 12, and what's that episode with with Hector? What episode was that? And he does the James voice there again. So I think it just depends what the voice director is wanting. Like what kind of thing, because they're all going to have different ideas on what works and what doesn't. So yeah, I think even through the Head Entertainment years and the Sharon Miller years, I think Michael's still my favorite narrator. I mean, if you want to be controversial, I think Mark probably had more enthusiasm than Ringo did. I think Mark and Ringo are probably even. Because I grew up with Ringo, but I think Mark was probably more creative than Ringo, so they're about even, really. Are you a fan of Lord of the Rings? I've never watched them. My other half has, and she didn't get into them either. She recommends The Hobbit, but that was about it. I think she said her favorite character from that was Smaug. But she's a dragon lover as it is, so bias, am I right? Right, I think I've got time for one more question or one more thing to talk about. Yeah, I've heard that Mark still does stuff because for the series, it was weird having Thomas be the narrator. Is there no narrator for All Engines Go? I've not heard that there is. Yeah, that one thing I remember I said this in BWA. One of the genius things they had in that was the lesson of the day segments at the end of the show, where Thomas talks about, having clean water and being nice to people. That was a genius idea the show had. I'm surprised they didn't do that for the Head Entertainment era, when they started introducing the games and the learning segments. Oh. And we end on a high note. We talk about all engines go. Oh, God. Gondor's lesson of the day. Be happy. Get married once, never again. Because this wedding, it's coming up in 3 weeks, and it's been a pain to plan. And that, even without COVID, this thing would have been a nightmare to organize. And yeah, because there's just so much you have to do for a wedding. And this was a wedding that's been planned for 2 years. And then when we got to 2021, it starts to kick in that it's really coming up fast. Oh, God. So I would say be happy. Oh, we got loads of music. Yeah, we had to agree on the music together. So it's just stuff from the 50s to the modern stuff. It's basically you had to decide what music do people want to dance to. So I think we're going to end on live a good life, be happy, be passionate if you're making stuff on YouTube, because 15 years we're talking here. Been a fan of yours since 2019. Thanks very much for that. Yeah, just the best way to make content for YouTube is to have it as a hobby. Because otherwise, if you have it as a career, you're just forcing it out. I would probably see Toy Story 5 even though I didn't like Toy Story 4. Yeah, 15 years. It's been one hell of a ride. I didn't think I'd last this long. I mean, honestly, the amount of channels I've gone through, this channel only became a thing in 2010, and it's still going 11 years later. 2022's Buzz Lightyear film. I will be seeing that. So yeah, I will sign off here. Thanks to everyone who's been here. Thanks to everyone who likes my content. I mean, that's about it, really. I've been doing this since 2006. The first video I did was just a slideshow of Thomas and Friends clips with Bohemian Rhapsody playing it. I didn't think it would last 15 years. So thanks to everyone for watching. I don't know how long this will be going on for. I'll probably make an announcement around the new year. But the next thing that's coming out is the Universal Monsters. That's coming out in mid-October. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for giving me stuff to talk about for 2 hours. Yeah, thanks, everyone.